It's Friday and you just got paid. But there's only one problem. Even though you got paid, you have a mountain of debt that's piling up and you're starting to figure out, how am I ever going to be able to get out of this situation? Well, in today's video, I'm going to be going over the best possible ways for you to get yourself out of debt. I used this same method whenever I was in debt in my 20s, and it helped me to make sure that I not only got out of debt, but I made sure to never put myself in that situation ever again. The first thing that you want to do is you want to get a plan in place that will allow you to strategically attack all of the debt that you have. So you're going to sit down at a table, you're going to put all of your debts into a spreadsheet, whether you write that down, you put it in an app, whatever method to track all of the debts that you currently have that are outstanding. So even before you start to think about what bills you have to pay, this step is crucial because it's going to allow you to understand everything that you have outstanding, which will help you map out what your plan looks like. Now, after you get a good inventory of all the outstanding debts that you currently have, the next thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to make sure that you take a look at everything that you currently have right at this moment that you're making payments on. So that could be consumer products, or it could be a vehicle, or whatever it may be. You just want to make sure that you have a really good understanding of what you currently have at this point in time. And the biggest expense that most people have outside of their rent or their mortgage is sitting right out in their driveway, which is their car. So in my opinion, if you're really serious about trying to get out of debt and actually get out in front of things, sell that car. That's right, sell it, because you don't need it, because it's prohibiting you from being able to put yourself in a position to start winning. Most people are not going to go out there and sell their car. They're going to try to figure out a way to get ahead by not getting rid of the thing that's keeping them from being able to get ahead. Now, I know that may sound strange, but because I was in that position at one point, but I'm telling you, if you are in debt and you're perpetually trying to figure out how to get out of debt, but you have a car that you're paying a car payment on, especially if it's $500, $600, $700, $800 a month, get rid of it, sell it. You're only gonna have to make this sacrifice in the short term to get yourself in a position of where you wanna be. Now, the next thing you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna start looking at anything that you might have in collections. If you have a hospital bill, or if you have a credit card that you can no longer pay and it's with a collection agency, that's when you're gonna start reaching out to those particular collection agencies and you're gonna start making deals. You're gonna start asking them, hey, if I make a payment plan with you to pay X amount of dollars every single month over a 3 or a 6 or a 12-month period, can you reduce the amount that I'm in collections for so I can clear this debt? Now, a lot of people don't know this, but collection agencies will make a deal with you because from their perspective, they'd rather get something from you instead of nothing. Collection agencies will buy your debt from credit card companies for pennies on the dollar, and they will try to collect from you instead of the credit card company who is just writing that off as a bad debt on their books. But there's still some room in the amount that that collection agency paid the credit card company and what they're charging you. There's a gap there, there's a delta, and they're willing to reduce the amount of that original debt if they're able to recoup some money. So don't be afraid to reach out to these companies and start making deals. Even if you've had a car repossessed in the past, reach out to that bank, or again, if it's a collection agency, and start trying to make deals, right? Ask them questions, make them tell you no. Don't be afraid to ask for an amount where you're like, there's no way they're gonna go for this. There's no way that, I owe $5,000. There's no way they're gonna accept $1,500, but you'll be surprised. Some of these companies, if you owe them $5,000, $10,000, they will be willing to settle with you for pennies on the dollar. So the very next thing right after that is you're gonna take a look at your overall lifestyle. You're gonna take a look at how much it costs to maintain your life on a monthly basis, and you're gonna start making cuts. And no, I'm not talking about just making the cut from, you go to Starbucks 3 days a week, or you go out to lunch with your at work 1 day a week. I'm not saying to cut that out. What I'm saying is you're really going to start to go in and fine tune that budget and actually put a budget in place. Most people don't have a budget. We get paid, we go out, we spend money, and then whatever we have left at the end of the month, we'll either put it in a savings account or we'll do whatever we want with it. but we're going to be strategic, right? So we're trying to get out of debt. We want to be strategic. So what we're going to start doing is we're going to put that budget into place that's going to allow us to slot the things that we want to do on a monthly basis. So your rent or mortgage is going to be on that budget. Your transportation costs are going to be on that budget. Your food costs, your utilities, everything that you need to survive for a month is going to be on that budget. And you're also going to make sure that the majority of that budget is going to be tailored towards and geared towards being able to pay down that debt. And that's where we start getting to what they call the snowball method. Now, this method is going to allow us to be able to take a majority of our dollars that we have remaining after we budget and put that towards any debts that we have. And we're going to continue to do that. And once a debt gets cleared, we're going to take the money from that debt and we're going to move it to the next debt. And we're going to rinse and repeat until all of our bills are paid off. Now that we've reduced the amount of money that we have going out the door every single month, now we want to start thinking about what are some things that we can do that will allow us to bring in more additional income every single month. And you can do that in a couple of different ways. One, you could pick up additional shifts at your current company, or you can get a second job and work that job in the evenings or on the weekends, or you can go the side hustle route and you can deliver for Uber Eats, you can drive for Uber, you can do grocery deliveries for Walmart, you can do medicine delivery for Walgreens, whatever it may be, and whatever is something that you're able to do and that you have a little bit of interest in, focus on that. And it doesn't have to be something that's going to bring in an additional $2,000 or $3,000 or $4,000 a month. It could be something that's bringing in an additional $500 a month, which could then be used to put towards any of the debts that you have in order to make sure that you're able to pay those off much more quickly. So you have to make a decision, right? So whenever you're in debt, you have to be willing to do the things that you don't want to do right now in order to put yourself in a position to do the things that you want to do later. It's just a fact. So you have the plan in place, you've reduced your expenditures, and now you're bringing in some additional income. The last thing that you need to do is be patient and stick to the plan, right? That's the number one thing that makes this work. You have to make sure that you're sticking to that plan that you put into place and don't deviate away from it. So everyone's situation is going to be a little bit different, but here's the thing. It could take 3, 6, 12, or 18 months in order to get yourself out of a bad situation that you shouldn't have been in the first place. So if you're willing to put in the work, you're willing to be patient, and you're willing to grind it out and do what you need to do to get yourself in a position to where you want to be, then there's no limit to where you can actually end up. This is the exact method that I use to get myself out of debt in my 20s, and it's something that I continue to do to this day. So anything that I do from a side hustle perspective, I'm putting that into investments. I'm also keeping my monthly expenditures as low as possible and not let lifestyle creep come in and actually blow my budget out of the water. So what do you guys think? Is this a plan that you could implement and follow? I'll tell you what, put this plan into place, follow it for the next 60 or 90 days, and I guarantee you, you'll be in a better position than when you started.